Once upon a time, in the heart of an African village nestled between rolling green hills and golden fields of maize, two boys, KATO and JABALI, grew up as the closest of friends despite their different backgrounds. KATO was the son of the village chief, a man of wealth and influence. Their homestead was the largest in the village, surrounded by tall fences, with a herd of cattle so vast that even the elders lost count. KATO had the finest clothes, always well fed, and was destined to inherit his father's power. JABALI, on the other hand, was the son of a poor widow. His mother tilled the land for meager harvests, fetching water from the river before sunrise and weaving baskets to sell at the market. Their house was a single mud hut with a thatched roof, often leaking when the rains came. But despite the hardships, JABALI was full of laughter, his spirit unbroken. The two boys met one morning by the river. KATO had wandered away from his father's guards, chasing after a butterfly. He had never been this far from the village alone. Just as he reached out to catch the butterfly, he lost his footing and tumbled down the slippery bank, landing with a splash in the muddy water. JABALI, who had been filling a clay pot with water, rushed to help. He waded in, grabbed KATO's hand, and pulled him out. "You almost drowned," JABALI said, laughing. KATO, covered in mud, stood up and smiled. "I was swimming," he said stubbornly. From that day on, the two became inseparable. KATO would escape from his father's compound to play in the fields with JABALI. Together, they climbed mango trees, raced barefoot across the plains, and fished in the river. KATO often sneaked food from his home and shared it with JABALI, while JABALI taught KATO how to weave traps to catch birds and rabbits. As they grew older, the village began to notice their friendship. The chief disapproved. "A chief's son does not mix with the poor," KATO's father warned him. But KATO ignored him. He saw JABALI not as poor, but as his equal. One day, trouble came to the village. A group of men from a faraway town arrived, claiming that the chief had sold them the land where JABALI's home stood. The village elders murmured in disagreement, but the chief remained silent. JABALI's mother cried, pleading, "Where will we go? This land has been our home for generations." But the men only laughed. "Leave, or we will remove you by force." JABALI ran to KATO, his eyes filled with anger. "Your father did this. He sold our home." KATO was stunned. He had always known his father was powerful, but he had never thought he could do something so cruel. That night, KATO confronted his father. "Why are you taking their land?" he demanded. His father sighed. "The world is unfair, my son. We must do what is best for our family." "But JABALI is family," KATO shouted. "If you take their land, you take my heart with it." The chief frowned. He had never seen his son so defiant. KATO ran to the village elders. He begged them to intervene, but they hesitated. No one wanted to oppose the chief. So KATO did something no one expected. At dawn, he gathered the village children and led them to the disputed land. They formed a human chain, standing hand in hand. When the land buyers arrived with their men to drive JABALI's family away, they found dozens of children blocking their path. "We will not move," KATO declared. The land buyers hesitated. The village had never seen such defiance from the chief's own son. The elders, seeing KATO's courage, finally spoke up. "This land belongs to the people," they said. "If you take it, you will take our unity with it." The news spread like wildfire, reaching the ears of the governor in the city. Fearing an uprising, he sent orders, the land sale was to be cancelled. JABALI's family would stay. That evening, KATO and JABALI sat beneath their favorite mango tree, watching the sunset paint the sky in gold and crimson. "You risked everything for me," JABALI said. KATO grinned. "You pulled me out of the river once. I just returned the favor." Though one was born into wealth and the other into hardship, their bond had become something stronger than money, deeper than blood. They were brothers, tied not by fortune, but by love and loyalty. And in the heart of the village, their story would be told for generations, the tale of two boys, one rich, one poor, who defied the odds and stood together as equals.